Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this whiteboard. All right, I'm going to get rid of my face for a little bit. And I am going to take us into Blackboard. So everybody should see Blackboard on the screen. If by chance you don't, please let me know in the chat box, okay? So as soon as you guys log into Blackboard, this is the page it should take you to. It should automatically take you to the announcements page, okay? Pretty much every time I put an announcement on this board, I email a copy of that to you. So you'll always have a link to it. So hopefully you guys saw I had sent you a welcome message last week just to kind of give you a heads up, make sure you knew what day we started and what time, and that this is fully virtual. All of the links to everything we need is all over here on the left-hand side. What I will tell you is I did not notice until this morning that some of my content links are missing. So I'm working on getting those up and running. But for the most part, here's where you would click to get the announcements. I'm assuming all of you found the virtual classroom link because you are all here, okay? I'm going to click on this how this class works though. Just a real quick tour. So kind of gives you a breakdown of the class navigation, like what all these things are, okay? What I want to kind of talk to you about is the class materials, okay? We have a section that's called Learning Plans and Sources. This is a major thing for us. So let me scroll up and I'll show you. So right here, our Learning Plans and Sources. This is where the bulk of the teaching material, the reading materials, it's all in there, okay? With our virtual class, we will be having class discussions, not just orally, but there's actually a discussion board, okay? And we are going to be utilizing that in our 8 weeks together. So kind of keep that in mind. What I want to remind you of is that, hey, this is English Comp, right? So when you are writing on the discussion boards for any of our discussions, your tone can be friendly. Doesn't have to be professional because it's, you're communicating with your fellow students. But I do want you to pay attention to your spelling and your capitalization, your grammar, okay? We're going to try to get that employed right away. Beyond class discussions, you also will have journal entries. These journal entries will act as some assignments, okay? What I want you to know about the journal entries is that I am the only one who sees them, okay? Nobody else will see what it is you write in your journal entries. So, your journal entries are even an opportunity to let me know if you're struggling with something, okay? And then I can address that from there. And then, of course, we have assignments. And assignments we'll talk about later, okay? There is a communication section, okay, that has my contact hours. The one thing that I noticed, and you won't see it on your end, is an email my instructor. That's one of the links that's broken. So I have to fix that. I'm going to try to get it fixed before we end class, but otherwise you can just open up your NWTC email and you should be able to find me from there. But I'll get that fixed right away. You have the option to email your classmates, okay? And I know it has virtual classroom. I actually need to delete that. We used to use something called Collaborate, and we don't use that anymore. So don't worry about that. You also have a resources section that from time to time I might actually, point you in that direction. Take to the chat box, you guys. Let me know, is there anybody in class who does not have Word at this current time? Is there anybody who does not have Word? Let me know in the chat box. Okay. So here, I'm going to take a moment to show you, because you are an NWTC student, if you look over here at the resources, I want you, if we click on the software resources, oh shoot, I thought it had the link in here, now it doesn't. Nope, it doesn't. Okay. So through NWTC, you guys actually do have free access to Microsoft Word. Now, I realize that not everybody likes Microsoft Word, and I'm okay with that. I have students who use Acrobat. I have students who use Pages, like if you're a Macintosh user. I have students who like to use Google Docs, okay? LibreOffice, all of those, they are fine. But here's what I need you to know. When you submit any of your homework to Blackboard, Blackboard only recognizes 2 major files, okay? And it's a docx file or a PDF file. I'm going to write that in their chat box. So when you save your documents, if you're in Google Docs, that's great, but you have the option to save your document in another format or download it in another format. It needs to be saved as a Word document or as a PDF. Please make sure you do that. If you don't do that, Blackboard can't read your document, and then I can't grade your homework, okay? So if, as we get started and we're doing things and you're super confused, we can always address it again. You can always contact me or message me privately, and we can go through that, okay? All right, I think that was all I wanted to cover with this. My mouse every once in a while goes weird, so you'll have to forgive me. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys took the opportunity, but here in our class information, there is the syllabus calendar link, okay? I have our course syllabus right here. It's the same document, it's just that one is a docx file because I typed it up in Word, and one is a PDF. Because I know if any of you are working like on a Chromebook, doesn't normally like the docx files, okay? So I'm going to bore you for a little bit, and we're going to go through the syllabus, all right? Okay, so on your screens, you guys should be seeing a copy of our syllabus. If you don't see our syllabus on the screen, be sure to let me know in the chat box, okay? I'm going to zoom us a little bit. All right, so just kind of some general housekeeping type things. Obviously, today's the first day of class. Our last day of class is May 12th, okay? We meet Mondays and Wednesdays. So every Monday and every Wednesday at 12:30, you guys need to be signing in through that virtual link. It's an 8-week class. This class is going to move fast, and there's a lot of writing. So please make sure you are here on our Mondays and Wednesdays, okay? It's all virtual, so you will only ever need to use that WebEx link in Blackboard. Why can't I talk today? Course description, we don't need to go through that. As far as textbooks, the textbook is provided for you, and I'll show you the link to the textbook as soon as we're done with the syllabus. So yeah, you don't have to buy a textbook for this class. You do have the option to actually buy a print copy. If you're like me and you like a hard copy, you can buy a hard copy from the bookstore, and I think it's like $30 or so. It's not expensive whatsoever, but you do have that option to get it from the bookstore if you'd like to. I highly suggest that beyond having, access to the textbook, obviously, as far as supplies, please make sure you have like a USB drive or something. I know you can save your documents on your computer, but I want you to be saving your documents in more than one place, because without fail, every semester, I have a student who loses a document. Something happens, it gets corrupted, maybe their computer died, whatever. You want to make sure you have a backup, okay? Obviously, you have to have a computer in order to attend class. You do kind of need access to Microsoft Office. So even if you don't like it, you may find that you need it simply for formatting. As I told you guys before, your students, you have access to it. So all you'd have to do is click this link in our syllabus, and it will walk you through how to download a free copy of the full Microsoft Office. Okay. Okay, I'm going to fast forward here a little bit. In this class, on more than one occasion, we will talk about employability skills. So NWTC has identified some core abilities that we really want everybody to pick up and apply in every single class that you guys take. And there's 7 of them. So it's communicate effectively, work cooperatively and professionally, think critically and creatively, solve problems effectively, value individual differences and abilities, demonstrate personal accountability, and demonstrate community and global accountability. Okay? And we're going to touch on those, like I said, a few times throughout our 8 weeks together. All right? Now, don't know if you know it, but you guys actually have a student handbook. Okay? You can access any of the information on the student handbook right through these links in your syllabus. Otherwise, you can actually go to the NWTC website, and all of this stuff is right there in the website. Okay, so if you ever have a concern about any of these rights or responsibilities, click here or go to NWTC's website, and you can find it from there and get the information that you guys need. Okay. There's information for alcohol, drug abuse. If you need to contact anybody about discrimination or harassment, there's that information there. Disabilities Act, support services are available to you guys should you ever need them. If you do, please contact the disability services. Here's the number right there. Okay, please contact them. Now, as far as campus closure, for us, it's not going to affect our class if the campus had to be closed. We still are going to attend class because we're all virtual. Okay. There is an academic calendar that you can get to here, and you also can go to NWTC's website and look at it. It shows you vacation days, begin of semester, ending of semester, things like that. So as your instructor, I'm going to try to be as professional as possible, though I do like humor, and you'll find that out very quickly. This totally is a safe learning environment. Those 7 employability skills. In this class, we are to respect each other's differences and each other's opinions, because everybody has a right to their view and their perspective. And we should never speak negatively about someone's perspective. Okay? I'm going to do my best to communicate with you guys. You can email me, and I will get to you within 48 business hours. Though I have to tell you, if you email me, usually I get back to you within 12 hours. The only time that's not the case is maybe on weekends. Okay, so if you email me on a Saturday or a Sunday, it probably is going to take me the 48 business hours. I'm going to try to grade stuff as quickly as possible. But please remember that I'm human and I'm teaching more than one class. So I will do it. I will do it in a timely manner, hopefully. I'm always going to provide you guys feedback to help you guys know where you're at and what you need to work on. Okay. I post information actually all the time on our announcements page and I email you. Okay. If something should happen, okay, if there's like a major cancellation, I will communicate with you guys right away. And in that communication, I will let you know, hey, we have to cancel class, but here's our plan. This is what I need you to work on. So that way, when we meet next time, this is what you got to have. Okay. I do my best to communicate with you. As far as you guys, basically, I expect you to be good students, be nice humans, be nice to each other. Make sure you are checking your NWTC student email, okay, because that's how I get a hold of you. I briefly mentioned it before. Do your best to use good grammar, punctuation, all of those good things, okay? Utilize Starfish. I actually send messages to you that way. And we'll maybe touch on Starfish a little bit later. Make sure you're following due dates, and I will show you the course calendar at the end of this document, and it is also in Blackboard. And if you guys haven't yet, if you click on this link, it'll walk you through how to sign up for rave updates. And what those are, if the college ever sends out like a college-wide text, you'll be like the first to know important information. Okay. All right. If you need student services, there's the link right here. Again, support services right here. Academic coaching. I know we're virtual, but you can still get help with some academic coaching, some tutoring. They do it either online, and I know that they do have some limited face-to-face appointments. Okay. So don't ever think you can't get any help. Okay. As far as syllabus changes, the only time I've ever really made changes to the syllabus is when I give you guys more time on something, okay? And that's something that we usually discuss as a class. Now, as far as class withdrawal, I don't want you guys to withdraw from class, but if you feel like that's something that you just have to do, use this phone number right here, okay? It's the NWTC Welcome Center, and they will walk you through it. If you're going to withdraw, there's like actually nothing I can do about it, okay? It's all on you. Incomplete grades, appropriate use of a technology. Okay, this one's a fun one with us being in a virtual class. Like, you guys don't have your cameras on. For all I know, you are Snapchatting your best friend. You know, you could be making a weird face trying to get some of the filters to activate. Who knows? So, do your best to not look at your cell phones, to not open another window on your computer and do some Amazon shopping while I'm rambling on about something, okay? Try to pay attention. And I just know that I do give you guys breaks, okay? And I give you, I think, ample time to make phone calls, send somebody a text, whatever you need to do, okay? I'm going to skip the COVID-19 information simply because we are a virtual class, but please know it's in there if you are wondering what NWTC's guidelines are. Attendance and participation. Bottom line, guys, it's an 8-week class. You need to be here. Every class session is basically a week's worth of work, so you really don't want to miss it, okay? If you guys get sick, stuff happens, right? Make sure you communicate with me so that we can devise a plan so we can prevent you from falling behind, okay? just general NWTC's grading policy. If you ever want to know like what your grade is, that's how it is broken down. Now, here's a breakdown of the assignment and assessments. Okay, so just kind of for full transparency, this is what we're going to be working on in our 8 weeks together. All right, I have to cover this because somebody always asks this question. All right. You must submit the following major writing assignments to receive a passing grade for the course. So even if you get an A on everything else, if you neglect to complete one of these writing assignments, I can't pass you for the class. These are required to pass. So you guys will be doing 4 annotated bibliography entries, which, don't panic, to me they're super easy. A textual analysis essay, a synthesis paper, and a theory of writing essay. Here's what I need you guys to remember and understand. You may not use an assignment that was previously submitted in another class. Even though it's your writing, if you try to submit that, that's actually an act of plagiarism, okay? So you cannot do that. You may use a paper from this course to submit in another class as long as you notify that instructor and myself. Okay, I know that kind of seems weird, but refer back to that if you guys have questions on it, okay? As far as a late work policy, you guys, I do take late work, but you don't get 100% credit for it. So again, life happens. Still, please turn in your late work, but know that you've got about 1 week, okay? 1 week beyond when it was due to turn it in, and I take off about 20% of the credit. So let's say it was a really good attempt. I would have given you 100 points, but because it's late, I can only give you 80 points, okay? So please still turn in your late work. I guess I have to do this. Okay, so discussion boards, you guys, we're going to be doing discussion boards. If you want to know how to get the full points for your discussion board, you need to understand there's actually like 2 pieces to the discussion board. So first, you're going to have to submit an initial post. That's your response to a question that I give you, okay? And you have to turn it in on time. And then second, you're going to have to reply to at least 2 other people by the due date, okay? And on time. So because the discussion board is like a time-specific process, I can't give you like full credit for your late responses, okay? But I will give you partial credit. Okay, so just keep that in mind. That's going to be a big theme in this class. You're going to have to get things done on time because your peers will actually be relying on you, okay? We're going to be doing some stuff called revision groups. And again, in order to get full points, there's 2 pieces. You're going to post your assignment like a rough draft. And then you're going to look through classmates. You're going to look through their rough drafts and provide some responses. Now, everybody take 1 second to just pause and take a deep breath. Okay. Hopefully we're all grounded. I know it seems overwhelming right now, but this is just kind of the front loading. It'll all make sense when we do it, okay? All right. I'm going to fast forward here. Now, this class has a theme, okay? Believe it or not, we have a theme in our class. And this is our theme right here. Language, okay? You are going to be reading some sources that I have picked out specifically for you guys. And those sources all connect back to our theme, which is language. And we're going to be reflecting back on these questions right here. These are our course questions. So we will be reflecting back on them throughout our time together. Okay. So these are also found in Blackboard, but they're here on your syllabus should you need to find them super fast. Here is our course calendar. Because it's an 8-week class, you're going to notice it's a lot of work in a short amount of time, but I've done my best to keep it clear. There shouldn't be any question on due date and times of things when they're due. Okay. Sorry, some of you are sending me little chats privately, so I apologize if I just randomly laugh. So please refer back to the syllabus if you're ever confused on when things are due, because this is what we follow. If you're like curious how these assignments reflect back and connect to the competencies or the employability skills, that's all these numbers are. If you don't care, just ignore them, okay? So I would say if you have the option to print something off, I would print off this course calendar, okay? And have it at hand because that's going to really, really help you. The cool thing about Blackboard, so I'm going to click away from the syllabus for a second. The cool thing about Blackboard is we actually have a class calendar built into Blackboard. So if I click on this, it's going to load up. So I think I have just your class highlighted here. Yeah. Oh, no, ignore the Friday. Don't ignore that class. So you'll be able to click on it and you'll go, okay, oh shoot, you guys, there's something due tonight. And you can click on it and it'll tell you, oh, it's the journal entry. Okay, journal entry 1 is due tonight by 11:59 p.m. Okay, and we're going to go over that later. So know that you have the course calendar in your syllabus and also right here in Blackboard. Okay. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing this for a second. Now, take one more deep breath. I want you guys to go back to, remember where the reactions button was? Give me some reactions. How are you guys feeling after that information? Okay, it can be a little overwhelming, can't it? I totally get that. That's why I said take a deep breath. Okay. I'll take some thumbs up. I'll take those. I'll take applause. We're going to get through all this. I want you to understand that each piece of homework I give you, we're going to go through it. And I'm going to make sure that you understand it before we even walk away and do anything else. Okay. So some of that, if you cruise through Blackboard, you might look at something and go, I'm never going to be able to do that. Don't do that. Okay. You can do this. The opportunity to work with your peers is going to help you immensely. So you're really going to want to, again, stay on task with like the revision groups and the discussion boards, because you're going to find a lot of help there. Okay. All right. So now that we went through all that information, take to the chat box. Let me know, is there anybody in here who has never ever played Kahoot? Please let me know in the chat box. And just so you know what I was saying, I'm going to type in the chat box, Kahoot, okay? All right, exactly. Okay, so Kahoot is, you can play it 2 different ways. It's web-based, or you can actually download an app to your phone. So if you don't have the app on your phone, it's cool because you can actually just do it on your computer. What you do is you go to, and I'm going to kind of walk you through it. On your computer, or, in the other window there on your web browser, you would type in kahoot.it. And it asks you for like a PIN number and everything, which I'll give you in just a minute. But Kahoot is it's just a game, they're games that we create that you can play. And Kahoots are one of my favorite ways to review information because it's a game. Okay, it's just a game. It's just for fun. And the way Kahoot works is you not only have to answer questions correctly, they're timed, so you have to answer them correctly, and you want to answer them as fast as possible because you get points for correct answers. Excuse me. You get points for correct answers, but you also get points for being the fastest answerer. Not that that's a word. So I would like to try to play a Kahoot with you guys, knowing that not everybody is familiar with Kahoot. Okay, so hang on a second while I kind of prep some things for you. Because we do have classmates who have never played Kahoot, we're going to kind of take our time here with it. So, classmates, those of you who have never played Kahoot, this is what I'm talking about. So you would open up a browser window and type in kahoot.it. And this is what you should see. Okay. If I have any of you who have Kahoot on your phones and you want to open that app up, please feel free to do so. I just wanted to show everybody what it looks like on your computer. I'm going to stop sharing this window for just a moment while I actually set up our Kahoot game. Okay. I'll get the game set up so then that way it'll generate a pin for you. Okay, so those of you who've never played Kahoot, I don't want you to be alarmed. Once I click a button to start it, you're going to hear like some music, and it's Kahoot music. Nobody else has music but this Kahoot. So let me get this going, and then I will share my screen. Okay, so friends who've never played Kahoot, you're going to go to that window and you're going to type in this PIN number, and it's going to ask you for like a username. You can put a nickname, you can put your full name, you can do whatever you want to, but I want you to sign in and put a username in. Okay. And we'll wait for everybody to do this before I explain the next step. And if at any time you're struggling to get in, let me know, please. Okay. Okay, I think one of you, just from the chimes here, I think one of you maybe had to sign out and sign back in. So that's cool. We're just playing Kahoot. If you don't know how to play Kahoot, send me a message. I just want to make sure. Okay, I'm just checking on everybody here. Okay. Looking at our numbers, I'm just making sure everybody gets that chance to get loaded up here. And I'm going to take a drink of water here while you guys are doing that. Okay, so this Kahoot is just a review of our syllabus, okay? So I will click on start in just a second. It'll tell you the kind of question that's going to come up, and you are just going to select the most correct answer, okay? And basically, the thing that I want you to remember the most is this is for fun, okay? You're not graded on this. This is for fun, okay? Let me just look here. Looks like we've got everybody, so I'm going to click start. Okay, so the first question is, how can I contact Professor Hoffman? Now, Select the answer that is the most correct. Ooh, I gave you a lot of time to answer these questions. Which one? So you would just click on whichever one you think is the most correct. If you think that the carrier pigeon is the one, then you would select that one. Okay? And if at any point in time you're having difficulties with the Kahoot, having like access to it, please let me know in the chat box, okay? I don't know why the Kahoot music sounds so scary. Okay, so the correct answer is email. I mean, you could Facebook stalk me, but I may not answer your message if you do it that way, okay? So email is probably the best way to get a hold of me. But always remember that you can private message me in the chat box when we're in class, okay? Okay, let's see what the leaderboard looks like. All right, so those are our scores as of right now. Very close. Okay, let's keep going. True or false? Professor Hoffman has a virtual office that we can meet in if we need to. Oh, I can't remember if we covered this or not. There's so much information, sometimes I forget. Okay, it is true. I have a virtual office, and I'll try to remember to show you where it is when we're done with this Kahoot, okay? If you guys ever need to meet privately with me, virtual office is perfect. You would just email me, we'd set up a time, and then we would meet in that virtual office, okay? Ooh, some shifting. All right, let's go to the next one. True or false? The student handbook is under the current students tab on the NWTC website. True or false? Can you get the student handbook on the NWTC website? Yes, you can. Good job, guys. Okay, let's go to the next one. Quiz. What is considered inappropriate use of technology in the classroom? Which one is the most correct? Remember, we're looking for inappropriate use of technology. Okay, all of the above. Again, as soon as we're done with our Kahoot here, I'm going to give you guys a break. So if you need to snap somebody or text somebody, you're going to have a chance to, okay? Oh, some more shifting. Okay, let's keep going. True or false? Plagiarism is to steal and pass off as one's own the ideas or words of another, or to present as new and original. Okay, awesome. Okay, I love it when you guys get like the hang of it and you get super fast at this. Okay, plagiarism. Okay, that's going to be a big thing that we're really going to be looking out for. And we're going to be looking at ways to prevent plagiarism. Okay. Ooh, no move. Okay. Next one. Okay. What is our course theme? Do you guys remember? Okay, good job. Language is our course theme. Okay, remember we went over that? That was on the syllabus. Okay, and I'm going to show you those sources in a little bit. But yes, language. We're really going to be delving into language, which, I don't know, just seems to make sense to me since this is an English class. All right, we've got a few more left. Select all correct answers regarding late work. All correct answers regarding late work. What did I say about it? Okay. So all of them are correct, right? Late work must be turned in within 1 week beyond like the due date. Late work has that 20% penalty, and you've got those assignments have to be turned in just to pass class, even if they're late. All right. Well, let's see where the next one takes us. Ooh, your synthesis paper is worth, did you guys catch that when I had that grid that had all the assignments in there? It was a breakdown of the assignments, and it has the points that the assignments are worth. Flip back to the syllabus if you need to. Okay. Your synthesis paper is the biggest assignment that you have, and it's worth 200 points. Okay. Thank you, nobody, for choosing, or everybody for not choosing green. Okay, I think we've got two more. Where can I find a copy of the syllabus? Where do I find that copy of the syllabus if I haven't already downloaded it? Very good. And if you haven't already downloaded it, please make sure that you do, okay? All right, I think this is the last one. How do I know when my homework is due? How am I supposed to figure that out? Okay, good job. I was really hoping you knew that. Okay, let's see where that took us, you guys. Let me adjust the volume so you can have your celebration music. Who got it? Kaylee! Nice job, you guys. Okay. So celebrate for a moment. Okay. I'm going to take away your celebration music. All right. So, those of you who have never played Kahoot before, that is what Kahoot is. Okay? And I just be forewarned, I love Kahoot. So there is definitely more Kahoot questions in your future. Okay? All right. Here's what I want to do, you guys. We've gone over a good chunk of information. I want you guys to go on break now. So I'm going to give you guys a 12-minute break. Okay, I'm going to put a timer up on the screen. Go be human for about 12 minutes, and then you got to come back here and be digital with me. But go be human, and then when we get back, we're going to jump into like our sources and talking about, the language and everything. Okay, so as I said, go be human. I'll get a timer started, so it'll be up on the screen, and you guys will know. Okay. So question just popped up really quickly, you guys. What time does this class go until? Class runs Monday and Wednesdays from 12:30 to 3:20. Okay. And I usually try to give you a couple of breaks in between our class time together. So 12:30 to 3:20. All right. Okay. I'm going to get our timer started. I'll put it up on the screen, and I will see you guys in 12 minutes, okay? And then we'll come back, and if we have any more questions, we will address those, okay? Okay, so let me take you back into Blackboard. All right. So where I'm going to take you next is under class materials, and it is the learning plans and sources. Okay, so if you're somebody who likes to kind of click and follow along, please feel free to do so. So I'm clicking on our learning plans and sources. So remember what I told you is your textbook is provided for you in this class. So this is our textbook right here. I would encourage you to actually download this textbook and keep a copy of it on your computer. So if you're ever at a point where you don't have access to the internet, but you need to do some homework and you need to access this textbook, that way you can, okay? And I mean, it's literally just a PDF file and it'll open just like this. Okay. So it's kind of nice for me because with it being virtual, I can load up our textbook right up on our screen. So, it's pretty cool. So yeah, like I said, I would encourage you guys to download this file and keep it saved either on your computer or a flash drive. All right. Okay. The other thing that I want to click on is this right here, our sources. Now, there's going to be times when I click on things and you're going to see things on my screen that aren't on yours. That's because I am in the teacher view. I'm not in the student view. Okay. So don't panic about that. So let me click on sources. So at the very, very top, when you click on sources, you should see this folder that says language sources. Okay. And you're going to notice, remember those questions that I had pointed out to you on our syllabus? They are listed here as well. Okay. So let me click on this. Okay. I'm going to scroll down. Now, here is where things get a little tricky. Okay. Because this is an 8-week course, you will kind of be doing double reading. Okay. So you're going to notice I've got source 1, source 1, source 2, source 2, source 3, source 3, and then source 4, source 4. So for each source, there's actually 2 readings to do. So part of your homework for when we meet again on Monday is to read both source 1 entries. And so you will have to read this, or actually, sorry, this one's a video. Watch this and read this, okay? And I will try to make sure that when I give you the homework that that's clear. So each time you have to read a source, there are 2 entries per source. So source 1 has 2 entries. What makes a word real and the way you see color. Okay, so that's why those are listed like that in there. It's mainly because this is an 8-week class. Something that I want to show you that's actually over here to the left. Okay, do you see where I have class materials? So we had our learning plans and sources. You'll notice that there's 2 other links here. There's a class to-do lists. Okay, that's where I'm going to have the homework listed. It's empty right now because I haven't given you guys any homework yet. And then when I am able to upload the class session recordings, this is where they will be. Okay, so in your class materials. So I just wanted to point that out to you. So, as I said, oh, come on, I need my mouse to work. Our theme is language. And, they give us some other options. They had happiness, they had consumerism, things like that. But for me, language just seems to be a good fit for this class. So, most of what we do in this class is going to be based off of these sources in the language sources folder. Okay. Sorry, I have to move some things up on my screen. So here's our language sources. Sorry, I have to open up my chat box. I'm pausing just a moment because a question came through, so give me just a moment. Okay, so a question came through asking about, like, do the chapters and sources relate to the same homework, or are the sources related to major papers and things like that? So I hope I explained this right. So the language sources we are using for the bulk of our homework. So like your papers, the annotated bibliographies, those will all come from these language sources that are in this folder right here. So this is kind of the heartbeat of our class right here, these sources in here. Now, we also have your textbook, and you're going to be asked to read chapters in your textbook. So the chapters in your textbook are mainly about making you a stronger reader and writer. So the textbook is all about the skills that you need for class, and the sources are all about the content you need from class. Let me know if you have questions on that. Does that make sense to you guys? Let me know if you're confused at all. And again, I mean, first class, a lot of information. A lot of this will make sense just as we continue to go on. Okay, and I will always try to make things as clear as possible to you guys. So, language sources, these are what we're going to be using. I would like to talk to you about one of the first things that I'm going to assign you guys to do. This is an assignment that's actually due tonight by midnight. Okay? So I'm going to come over here to these journal entries. Okay, oh, we got another good question come through. Will the chapters reading relate to journal entries and discussion boards? Sometimes, yes. That may kind of be a weird answer, but yes, sometimes the chapters will relate to the journal entries, to the things that we're putting in the discussion board. It'll be mainly the concepts that are covered in the textbook will help you develop your journal entries and the discussion boards. Okay? And you guys don't ever be afraid or feel bad about asking a question. I would rather you ask too many questions than not enough. Okay? So please don't ever be wary about asking questions. Okay, I'm going to take you guys over to the journal entries. And I want to look at journal entry number 1. Okay? Journal entry number 1 is all about the course topic and the questions. Okay, so you remember we've got those course questions that are listed right there in the language folder and on your syllabus. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you guys to do, let's read through this journal entry assignment instructions together. So this journal entry is basically, it's about your initial thoughts on the course topic, which is language, and on those course questions. And we can go back and look at those in just a minute. So to complete this journal entry, you're going to go back and you're going to read the course questions that are on your syllabus or in the sources folder. So kind of thinking ahead, in the synthesis paper toward the end of our semester, you're going to have the opportunity to answer some of the course questions. But your responses to that paper are going to be based on reading the sources in our source folder, okay? Which you haven't done yet, okay? So for this journal entry, what I want you to do is you're going to write 1 or 2 paragraphs on your thoughts on the course topic and use the chat box. What is our course topic? Tell me in the chat box what our course topic is. Do you not remember? Okay. Oh, came through 1. I want to see if anybody else can get it. What is our course topic? There we go. I got a couple. Anybody else? Don't worry, I'm not going to be too mean on you. This is all new. Our course topic is language. Okay, that is the topic of this course, our 8 weeks together. So you're going to write 1 or 2 paragraphs on your thoughts regarding language. Okay, try to answer these. Is this a topic that interests you? Okay, do you think that various perspectives will offer interesting insights in this topic? What are you hoping to find out as we look at the readings and discuss the questions this semester? And how would you respond to any of the course questions that you can answer right now without having to read any of the sources that we discuss? So we're going to look over those questions again. So part of the 1 to 2 paragraphs that you write are, can you answer any of the course questions already? Okay. So for this For this journal entry, I can talk. For this journal entry, I want you to include your name, the class number, and if you're not sure what our class number is, it's written right here, 22637. Okay, it's always there. So your name, your class number, and journal entry number 1, write that at the top of your entry. Okay. Remember what I said, grammar, spelling, punctuation. Make sure you guys are reading through and double checking yourself. Okay. So you have options on how to submit this journal entry. You can, I got to move some things away on my screen here. So when you are ready to submit your journal entry, this is what you would do. Do you see this where it says create journal entry? You'd click it. And I might put, whoops. Okay, that's my title, Becky's journal number 1. So you have a couple options. If you want to just type up your journal entry right here in the message box, you can do that, but still make sure you remember, I want your name, our class number. What else did I tell you? Name, class number, journal entry number 1. And then address the questions if you want to. But you'll notice you don't have access to the questions. So you would want to maybe even copy and paste them in the box and address them. So you can do it that way. You can just type it right up here. I will warn you, if you take too long to type up your entry in this box, Blackboard might time out on you and you will lose everything that you've written in here. Okay? So you're welcome to type it somewhere else and then copy and paste it in here if you want to. Otherwise, type up your document in whatever word processor that you use. Just make sure you save it as a docx or a PDF. Save it on your computer. Then go browse local files. Okay. And I have a lot of documents, you guys. Go find the folder that you saved it in, English Comp. Select the document. Okay, it has to be a docx or a PDF. Click open and it will attach it there. And then once you have that, you click post entry and it will show up for me that it needs to be graded. Okay. The last option, like if you're really just hard up and having some major issues, you can handwrite it. The only issue is you can't hand it in because we're not an in-person class. You can handwrite it and take a picture and attach it if you want, but ideally type it up and submit it, okay? So now before I give you any other information, do you guys have any questions on what needs to be done for journal entry number 1? Okay. I'm going to take you back. So remember, journal entry number 1 is not only about the course topic, but it's about the question. So let's go look at those questions again. Okay, I'm going to load this up and then a good question came across. So the question came across, and it's a good one, that is asking, do I require a specific font and text size? I do. Mainly because as we get to typing, we're going to talk more about MLA and APA format, okay? As a general rule, I ask, and I'm going to type it in the chat box. Oops. You'll see it in a second. Okay, so as a general rule, I want you guys to use 12-point font and don't use any flashy text. I don't want you to submit documents that are in Lucinda handwriting. Okay, use Times New Roman, use Calibri, use Helvetica. Okay, just boring fonts. That's what I'm looking for. 12-point fonts. So thank you for asking that question. I didn't want to dump too much MLA APA format on you on the first day. So stick to that standard 12-point font. If you use Microsoft Word, I believe it is automatically set at 11-point. So you will have to change that setting. Okay. Right now, I'm flexible because you guys are learning. Okay, it's a lot of information and we're still trying to figure out how to navigate some of these assignments. But try to do 12-point font with just good old standard boring fonts, okay? So in regards to Journal 1, you're going to tell me what you think about our topic of language. But I want you to read through these questions. We're going to go through them together here, okay? How do humans across time, cultures, genders, ages, abilities, and socioeconomic levels differ in how they use language? How does language influence and or reflect the development of one's identity, sense of power or powerlessness, or worldview? What aspect of language do you find under-examined or commonly overlooked by modern society? And there's some examples there. How have the sources and different perspectives on the topic shaped your opinions about language? And what would you say to someone, excuse me, who asked you the most important lessons you have learned about language to this point in your life? So in journal entry number 1, feel free to answer a couple of these questions if you feel comfortable enough answering them right now before we've read any of the sources, okay? Okay, any questions on that?
I just have one other question for you.
Go ahead.
So every like Monday or Wednesday, do you give us homework for like a week, and then like the Monday class, do you assign more, or is it just the same stuff you just help us review?
Okay, so to answer that question, I'm going to pop up the syllabus that we had, and that might help me explain it a little bit. So this is how it's going to run. So for midnight tonight, I'm going to ask you guys to read chapter 1 and do journal entry number 1. Okay. And then I'm going to tell you that by the time we meet on Monday, I need you guys to do these things. Okay. And then looking ahead, I'll let you know that by midnight on the 29th, this is what we have going on. So it's, some of the stuff you would be able to work ahead, but when we're talking about like the discussion boards and stuff, the only thing you'll be able to do is your initial post. So I try to basically use this format right here. I let you know what's coming up and what you need to have ready for when we meet the next class. Because it's an 8-week class, I don't want to give you too much and overwhelm you. So on our to-do lists, this is basically what I end up putting on our to-do lists. I don't know. Did that answer your question, Hunter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one thing that I do want you guys to know is, for the most part, I try to give you a little bit of time at the end of each class to maybe work on a discussion board or, anything like that, just in case you have questions. I also know that some of you are working full-time while you're going to school full-time. So as long as you guys are utilizing the time at the end of class, I will continue to give you that time. But if I find that like everybody's just kind of signing out and not doing anything, then maybe we won't do time at the end of class, okay? Okay, another question just came through. Give me a second. Okay, so let me read this question and I will do my best to answer it, okay? So this is in regards to the discussion boards that are coming up. So if people submit initial posts prior to class where we can respond to 2 people, are we okay with doing that, or would you prefer to answer after we finish class. Here's what I will tell you. Part of me wants to tell you, hey, it's okay, go ahead and work ahead. The only time this may be a problem is if I have a good portion of you that work ahead of time and I only have one or two of you who stick strictly to the due date time. We may end up with one or two individuals who don't get any responses. Does that make sense? So, I don't mind you working a little bit ahead, but please, as classmates, please try to be very conscious of trying to make sure that everybody gets a response, okay? So can you work a little bit ahead of time? Yeah, but please be very aware of each other. You're pretty reliant on each other in this class. So please try to be very conscious of making sure that everyone gets feedback and responses, okay? Okay, let me think here. And I'm just trying to monitor my time and make sure we get through stuff. Okay. I'm going to go back into just the main learning plans and sources folder. Okay, so we know that the first thing that's going to be due is tonight at midnight, and it's journal entry number 1. I'm going to take you into Learning Plan 1. Learning Plan 1 has all kinds of information about grammar, punctuation, and mechanics, okay? Now, anytime you open these learning plans and you see this, it'll say like activity, okay? An activity is not homework. It is not an assignment, okay? An activity is just a skill builder. Some of the activities we'll do in class. Some of the activities I'll encourage you to do on your own, okay? So just keep that in mind. If it says activity, it's not an assignment. So I've mentioned a couple of times now that, in your email communications, on the discussion board, journal entries, all of those, I really want to make sure that you guys are paying attention to your grammar, to your spelling, to your punctuation, all of those things. So I'm going to show you a video, okay, that will hopefully help bring all of those things to the forefront of your brain and make it easier for you to think about them and remember them, okay? So let me scroll down. All right, so when I show you guys videos in class, what I like to do is show you the first couple of seconds just to make sure everybody is seeing and hearing them. And then if everybody's cool, then we'll continue on, okay? So let me pop this up. And just a warning, some of these videos are really loud right in the beginning, but so let's give this a shot.
Papa, what does literally mean?
Okay, take to the chat box. Can you guys all hear and see okay? Aren't you glad I warned you about really loud at the beginning? Okay, so obviously, it's a little bit of a silly-ish video, but the intent is there, okay? So the video is called Fix Your Grammar. So enjoy the humor, but pay attention to what it is they're actually telling you. I always put the closed captioning on, but I don't know if you guys have ever watched YouTube videos. The closed captioning is not always on point, okay? So be forgiving. All right.
Why? Well, I'm on this Sherlock fan site, and somebody posted, "You're going to lose your mind. I defiantly saw Benedict Cumberbatch on 7th Avenue and literally exploded." He exploded? How does he type?
No, Mario, he didn't literally explode. He just isn't using the word right.
Is he stupid?
No, he's probably just kind of lazy. Everybody, with all the quick comments we post everywhere today, it's time to start paying more attention to what we're writing.
You said it's. Is it it's or it's? I do not know the difference. Oh.
Yeah, our vernacular ain't so great neither, so we're not trying to be preachy, but it's definitely time for a refresher on grammar.
Okay, I'm ready to tear that Mama Luke's what don't got no good grammar a new one.
No, that's not what we're doing. What are you wearing?
Well, I thought we were doing grammar Nazi. We're not. Okay, I'm gonna go change. You will not believe the looks I got coming over here.
The internet needs a refresher course on words and what they mean, and we're here to help.
I don't need no word refreshments.
Yes, you do. Okay, this one's pretty easy. Let's start with there. There is a contraction of two words, so it can only mean one thing. They are. So if you break the words apart in a sentence and it doesn't make sense,
He's going over they are?
try again. Okay, so this leaves there and there. There is a place. Here's an easy way to remember it. Here, there.
But where?
Yeah, that's a good way to remember it too.
What?
Stop it.
Why?
So the only one left is there, which means it's theirs.
Yeah, take 4 seconds and make sure you're using the right one. You learned this in the 3rd grade, dummy.
Say that.
What?
Alright?
That is not a word.
On accident!
No, it's by accident or on purpose.
Loose!
Well, that's a real word, but
Hey, cuz, let me take this one, all right? Look, you got a loose wallet. You gotta lose all your money in Atlantic City. They're 2 different words. What's wrong with you? All right. If you say I laughed so hard I literally pooped my pants, there better be actual poop in your actual pants. Or literally, you're a little illiterate.
That's so funny. It is literally making me cry.
No, it's not. Look, if you're not absolutely, precisely, truly sure you should be using that word, you don't use it.
You literally just blew my mind.
You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Thank you, man. Deep thinking. In conclusion, we all talk different. But that's no excuse to tweet, Brad Pitt, you're still dreamy. That's not contraction. That's not you are still dreamy. That's the thing that belongs to you is still dreamy.
Johnny, settle down.
Oh, you hold on a second. You want to abbreviate. You keep your LOLs, your KFCs, NKOTB, who's down with OPP. But if you're not abbreviating, you'll spell it right.
Oh, man.
I think Brad Pitt is actually becoming better actor as he gets older.
Yeah, and I'll give you this one. He's a good-looking man. What can I say?
Who can turn a can?
Okay. So take a moment, you guys, and give me a reaction. Push one of the reaction buttons. Okay. Sorry, sometimes the reaction buttons just are for my entertainment. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are looking at the chat box. Literally and figuratively, yeah, people confuse those quite frequently. So I know his example is a little crude as far as, you know, if you're saying you pooped your pants, then there had better be actual poop in your actual pants. But he's not wrong. I hear people all the time saying, that literally blew my mind. Well, if it literally blew your mind would have blown up, right? So yeah, that's not a pet peeve of mine, but it is something that I see quite frequently. And I actually, just out of curiosity, take to the chat box, are you guys on social media at all? Let me know in the chat box if you guys are on social media. Okay. So, okay, well, that kind of ties into a question that pops in here. So think about social media. Think about some of the posts that you see individuals' responses to each other. The video went over like it's and it's and there and there. Quite frequently, those are interchanged and not used correctly. One of your classmates asked a really good question and said, what about slang? English has changed quite a bit. And there are certain arenas, okay, where slang is okay. When we're writing our academic papers, we are going to avoid slang at all costs. Like, you should not have any slang in there whatsoever. So just kind of keep that in mind. Talking about social media, not anymore, a waste of time. It is very toxic. Totally agree with that. Don't get me wrong, I love social media. I'm from Arizona, but I live in Wisconsin. And so all my family is out in Arizona. So that's, social media is a really good way for us to share images and everything. I have a younger sister. She's 2 years younger than I am. And she won't be mad at me for telling you this because just that's who she is. But she has terrible grammar. Terrible. She's a terrible. That just was not one of her strong subjects in school. So I used to troll her on Facebook and correct her grammar. And she warned me one time. She said, either stop doing it or the next time I see you, I'm going to tackle you. So I'm about 5'2". If I stretch out really, really tall, I'm about 5'2". And she's about 5'6". And she's an athlete, so she's nice and strong. Well, I kept fixing her grammar on social media, and the next time I flew to Arizona to see her, she literally, and I'm using the word correctly, literally tackled me in my mother's living room and gave me a noogie. Okay, and we were adults. I'm talking like we were in our 30s, and she did this to me. So I don't correct people's grammar anymore on Facebook. But I do want you to be aware of it. I want you to actually get to the point where you can look at something and go, oh, that's not correct. I don't mean you're supposed to go, hey, you should change it to this. But I want you to be aware of it so that way when you guys are writing, you don't make those mistakes. Okay? So, yes, do not go out there and say, well, Professor Hoffman told me that I'm supposed to correct everybody's grammar on social media. No, that's not what I said. Don't do that, okay? I don't want to get the lashing from that. So, really, these next 8 weeks that we're together, discussion board, journals, emails to me, and obviously on your papers, really, really focus on your grammar and your punctuation, your spelling. And those are all skills that we're going to be working on throughout the semester. So if you feel like maybe punctuation is a weak point for you, it's okay. We're going to be working on that. Okay? So I don't want anybody to just have like a mild panic attack thinking, oh no, I can't do it. We're going to work on it. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to go through a couple of things to prepare you for some of the work that you need to do before we meet on Monday. Okay, so just a reminder, we meet Monday and Wednesdays. Okay, we do not meet on Fridays. This is a Monday, Wednesday class. Okay, so one of the things that you guys are going to be asked to do, I'm going to stop sharing the window here for just a second. One of the things that you're going to be asked to do in preparation for when we meet on Monday is to do a discussion board regarding parts of speech. Okay? So I want you guys to take to the chat box, and again, you can put it to everyone or just privately to me. Excuse me. There are 8 parts of speech. Okay, so 8 parts of speech that from, I don't know, primary school throughout high school, we touch on. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat. So I want you to take to the chat box and list as many parts of speech as you can. So take a couple minutes, put in the chat box as many parts of speech as you can. I will give you a hint. Maybe this will help you out a little bit. A noun is a part of speech. Okay, so I gave you one. So there's 7 more parts of speech. Besides a noun, what else can you guys name as parts of speech? Give it a shot. Okay, they're coming in. I'm going to put the whiteboard up here and we're going to type them on here. Okay. Okay, I'm scrolling through your chats just so I can see what you guys have come up with. Okay, because I said a noun, you have pronoun. Okay. Adverb. Ooh, look at, okay, you guys are doing awesome. And maybe you Googled it, I don't care. And then see, yep, somebody put that. Hey, Stephanie, I love Schoolhouse Rock. Matter of fact, if we ever have time in class, I use the Schoolhouse Rocks videos. Okay, let's see here. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You guys got them. Okay, let me click away. These are 8 parts of speech. You guys all got them. Excellent. See, this is why teamwork makes the dream work and all that good stuff. So we've got nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections. Okay, those are our 8 parts of speech. Those are what you kind of you need to have in your minds. Okay. Your discussion board that you're going to need to have like your initial post done on by Monday class time is in regards to the parts of speech. Okay. So what I'm going to do, we're actually going to do another Kahoot because I want to pick at your brains and see how much you remember about these 8 parts of speech. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and open a window and open Kahoot.it on your computer, go ahead. Whoops. Go ahead and do that. Otherwise, if you have the app on your phone, do that. I'm going to get it all loaded up for us. Make sure that's loading. Okay. All right, so, whoops, I gotta switch screens here so you guys can see this. Okay, so let's play a Kahoot in regards to the 8 parts of speech. Your pin is right here up at the top. Get that entered in. Remember, you can go to Kahoot.it, or if you have the app on your phone, you can use that, okay? And as always, if you're having any problems, let me know, please. And turn that volume down a little bit. Oh, I drank all my water. Let me make sure. And I think, yeah, I think one of your classmates was having some connection issues. So let me just really quickly make sure. Yep, okay. Oh, we lost one of you. Look at the screen. Sometimes, I don't know why it does this, but sometimes it'll like boot you out. There we go. Okay. So all of the questions that are coming up are in regards to those 8 parts of speech. So let's see what, dive deep in your brains and let's see what you guys remember, okay? Okay. A word that expresses action or a state of being. A word that expresses action or a state of being. Which one of those expresses action or a state of being? Okay, a verb. A verb is an action word or a state of being, okay? Okay, there's quite a few of these, so we're going to kind of like speed through them. A person, place, thing, or idea. What part of speech is that? Person, place, thing, or idea. Okay, very good. A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. Okay, like I said, I'm going to go through these kind of fast. A word that takes place of a noun. What is that called? A word that takes place as of a noun. Okay, awesome. Pronoun. Pronoun is a word that takes place of a noun. So instead of saying Oprah Winfrey over and over, we would use pronouns like she or her, okay? Okay, next one. A word that modifies or describes a noun or a pronoun. Which one of those would describe a noun or a pronoun? Oh wow, look at you guys. Okay, nice. Adjective describes or modifies a noun or a pronoun. You guys were super fast on that one. Okay, let's go to the next one. Demonstrates relationship between a noun or pronoun and another word in the sentence. Which one of those demonstrates a relationship between a noun or a pronoun and another word in the sentence? Okay, that one's a hard one. That's a preposition, and that's one that we'll try to touch on a little bit more. Preposition, so the word over would be a preposition. So over the river, through the woods, that's a prepositional phrase, okay? That lets us know, where we were going, okay? That's our relationship, excuse me, in the sentence. Sorry, I ran out of water, you guys. Okay, let's keep going. A word used to join words or groups of words. And if you guys are fans of Schoolhouse Rock, I'm hoping you'll get this one. Excellent. Conjunction junction, what's your function? And those of you that have never watched Schoolhouse Rocks have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so a conjunction is one of those. We've got and, but, yet, so, those are all conjunctions that help connect, okay? A word that modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. There's a key word in there. A word that modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Okay, adverb. So look at the key word in there was another adverb. That was kind of like your hint. So a word that modifies a verb is an adverb. An adverb also can actually modify an adjective, or it can modify another adverb. It's pretty cool. It's like a Swiss Army knife of the parts of speech. All right, let's keep going. A word that expresses emotion. What type of speech is that? A word that expresses emotion. Okay, an interjection. So words like stop, exclamation point. That's an interjection. Or wait, or hey. Things like that. Those are interjections. Okay, not quite halfway there, so we're going to continue to go. He walked around the corner. What part of speech is the word around? Okay, it's showing a relationship between our subject and another word in the sentence. What was that? Do you guys remember what that one was? Preposition, very good. It's showing that relationship between he and corner, right? Or where he walked. Okay, next one. My sister answered the question intelligently. What part of speech is intelligently? What part of speech is intelligently? It's an adverb, okay? It's an adverb because intelligently is describing how the sister answered, okay? And answered is a verb. Quite frequently, you can identify an adverb because majority of our adverbs end in ly, but you always have to look at the relationship of the word in the sentence, okay? You guys are doing really good because I'm just throwing you right in here. We didn't even review, so you're doing good. Let's keep going. Hey, that was my seat. So what part of speech is hey? It's showing emotion, great emotion. Okay, it's an interjection, right? Remember, an interjection is one of those that shows that great emotion. All right. Remember, if at any point you guys are if it's locked you out and you're not able to answer, you can let me know in the chat box, okay? We're going to keep going. The store overcharged me. What part of speech is overcharged? Okay. Ooh, tricked some of you guys. Okay, so overcharged is a verb. It is expressing an action. It's an action word. Okay. The store, that's our subject, that's our noun. Overcharged me. That's what they did. That was their action. Okay. Okay, so I just saw a note that one of you had lost connection, which means it's probably not going to let you join the game. So follow along and try to answer on your own and see if you're right, okay? Okay, we're about halfway there. The lock was stuck. What part of speech is lock? Okay, it's a noun. Remember, a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea, all right? And a lock is a thing. Oh, nobody moved that time. All right, next one. She bought all of us ice cream. Okay, what is she? Remember what I said about Oprah Winfrey? She bought us all of us ice cream. What part of speech? Okay, it's a pronoun. So instead of saying Oprah Winfrey bought all of us ice cream, we could replace that with a pronoun, with she. Okay. All right, we're getting there. There wasn't any shifting, so let's go to the next one. I like barbecue and sour cream and onion chips. What part of speech is the word and? What part of speech is and? Very good. It's a conjunction. It's a connector. Okay. Oh, look at you guys. All right, let's keep going. We're almost there. Kind people are often rewarded. Kind. Is my screen frozen for anybody else, or is your screen frozen? One of your classmates messaged, so let me know. What part of speech is kind? All right. Kind is an adjective. It's describing the word people. Okay? Adjectives describe nouns, so kind describes people. Oh, a little shifting that time. Okay. Let's see how fast we can finish this up. Hooray! We finally won a game. What part of speech is hooray? What part of speech is hooray? It's an interjection. Remember, it's that great burst of emotion there. Hooray! Okay, next one. I would like pizza or a cheeseburger. What part of speech is or? What part of speech is or? All right, it's a conjunction. We're joining some ideas here, aren't we? We're joining our food options. All right, we're almost there, guys. The yellow car sped by. What part of speech is yellow? What function is it providing in that sentence? Very good. Yellow. Yellow is describing the car. Therefore, it's an adjective. Car is a noun. Yellow is an adjective. Okay, almost. Can you jump over the fence? Kind of gave you a hint earlier on about that. What part of speech is over? Made reference to over the river and through the woods. What part of speech were we talking about? Preposition. Okay, prepositions are probably some of the hardest examples to identify. Okay, just a few more. You really should see that movie. What part of speech? This one's a little bit harder. What part of speech is really in this sentence? What is it? What is it working with? What is it describing? Okay, it's an adverb because if you look at that, really is describing should. You really should see this movie, okay? Should is our verb, really is an adverb. Okay, a couple more. Mr. Dudek is the teacher. What is? What part of speech is in this sentence? Kind of try to identify the parts of the sentence in there. Dissect it. What part of speech is? Okay, very good. Is a verb. We have to remember that verbs are action words, but we also have linking verbs and helping verbs. Okay, so in this sentence, this is our verb. Okay, let's keep going. We are like almost done, okay? They are going to the mall. So what part of speech is they? They are going to the mall. Good job. Pronoun, okay? It's taking place because we could have, instead of saying the kids or the family or the girls or whatever, we are just replacing that with a pronoun. We're just saying they. All right, this is the last one, I believe. Have you seen my book? What part of speech is book? What part of speech is book? It's a noun. All right, good job, you guys. So let's see where that took you. Got Rich. Oh, I need to give you your celebration music. Haley. And Tata. Nice job, guys. You guys did really well. I mean, we didn't even review it. I just jumped you right in there. So you guys did an awesome job. Good job. And I'm sorry, I know a couple of you had some connection issues while we were doing that. So I'm sorry. That's a bummer. But you guys did awesome. Okay. The 8 parts of speech aren't something that we talk about or identify on a daily basis. So you guys did a really good job going through that. Okay. So here's the reason why we went through that. Let me take us back into Blackboard. Okay. Woo, lost my window. All right. So in some of the upcoming homework, you're going to be asked to participate on a discussion board. Okay, if I can get that loaded. You are going to be asked to complete the parts of speech discussion board. So we already went through the 8 parts of speech. Okay, if you need to review them, this document is an amazing review of the 8 parts of speech. This is also a really cool visual that shows you the parts of speech, okay? So what you need to do for your initial post of this discussion board, do you see how there are these sentences right here? Okay, there's 5 sentences. In these 5 sentences, they're kind of boring, right? They're just like these little piddly sentences. I am asking you to add adverbs, adjectives, prepositional phrases, conjunctions, or interjections. Add as many as you want to these 5 sentences. Be like super creative. And so that's your initial post. Your initial post should have 5 sentences incorporating as many of the parts of speech as possible. And I mean, here's some examples. So instead of the dog ran away, an example would be, with its tail between its legs, the ragged dog ran away into the night. Okay, much better than the dog ran away. So what I would encourage you to do is probably take these 5 sentences, like I'm going to copy them, and then let me see. When you're ready, click on where it says parts of speech. You'll click on it, and it's going to open this empty discussion board. So each of you will need to create a thread, okay? And I was nice, and I put the questions right here. I'm going to do, whoops, for the subject, or yeah, Becky's parts of speech, okay? And then I'm going to paste the sentences in there, and then I'm just going to start adding in, you know, different parts of speech. The dog ran or quickly ran away into the alley. Okay, so I added an adjective, I added an adverb, and I added a prepositional phrase. So you guys are going to do that. You're going to have 5 sentences that you're going to add in there that you're going to make all fancy and sparkly new with the 8 parts of speech. Once you do that, you're going to click submit. Okay? Your initial post is due by the 29th before class. Okay? So you've got a few days to work on this. That's just your initial post. For right now, because not everybody is in the swing of things, I know one of you had asked earlier on if you could kind of work ahead. For the parts of speech, please don't do the reply post yet, because I know not everybody is comfortable yet with our Blackboard format. So please, for right now, just post your initial post of 5 sentences before we meet on Monday. Okay? Does anybody have any question on what I just did right there? Okay. And if at any point when you guys are home and you're working on things, you're like, okay, I don't remember how to do this, please feel free to email me, okay? All right. So let me click away. So here is what I want you guys to do. We've got 24 minutes left of class. What you guys need to do by tonight, read chapter 1, though honestly, you know, if you're somebody who likes to save all their reading for once or at one time, that's fine. But I want you to read chapter 1 in our textbook that we have provided for you. I want you to complete journal entry number 1. This all needs to be done by midnight tonight. Okay? Before we meet on Monday, I want you guys to, you have a lot of reading to do. I want you to read chapters 2 and 4 in your textbook. And then I also want you to go to chapter 14, but I only want you to read these 2 sections. So don't read the entire chapter. Only read sections 2 and 3, and I have the page numbers listed for you. Okay? I also want you to read the Source 1 selections. And remember how I said there's 2 Source 1 selections? Okay? So you'll go to the Learning Plan Sources, go find our Sources folder, and for Monday, you're going to watch the video. It's a TED Talk. Watch What Makes a Word Real, and you're going to read The Way You See Color. Okay? Those are the Source 1 entries that you need to have read before we meet on Monday. And then I want you to submit that parts of speech discussion board post, your 5 sentences. Okay? So this needs to be done by midnight. This needs to be done before we meet on Monday. Do you guys have any questions on what needs to be done tonight and what needs to be done for Monday? Let me know in the chat box if you're confused about anything. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do, you guys. I only gave you 1 break. It's like, what, 2:59, it's 3 o'clock now. So I'm giving you our last 20 minutes. You can work on the journal entry. You can work on your reading. I would suggest the journal entry since it's due by midnight tonight. Work on that journal entry. You are welcome. Once I'm done talking, you're welcome to sign out of class and work, but just know that I will be here in our virtual class until 3:20, well, 3:30 actually, if you have any questions, okay? So I am giving you the rest of our class time together to get that journal entry done and kind of look around, make sure you know where everything is at. Other than that, any last questions? Okay. You guys survived your first class with me. Pat yourselves on the back, okay? So go ahead, feel free to sign out, get some work done. I'm here if you need me. Remember, ask as many questions as you want, okay? Feel free to email me if you need me. And I'll be sending out an email after our class session that has just the reminder of what homework you have due, okay? So yeah, feel free to sign out, get some work done, and I'll see you guys on Monday. All right?
Thank you.
You bet. Have a great weekend.